Brianna, so now I want to talk to you about something that I know about, and that's being a black registered nurse. I'm not holding back, because like I said, neither one of I know I ain't guaranteed tomorrow, but my legacy gonna carry on through you and little Junior. So anyway, let's talk about being a black registered nurse. You will have sometimes certain units that I went on, there was no American nurses, not one. And when I went on that unit as a registered nurse, everybody was from the Philippines, they were from Vietnam, they're from Italy or Africa. And know that sometimes being black, you're going to be faced with their bias. You're not supposed to be, and when you're black and you're knowledgeable and you have, the who, the when, the what, the where, and the why, you see a lot of times they'll be rolling their eyes. They're not receptive to any information when it comes out of your mouth. You can say, how long has that P wave been inverted? I don't know. Go ask somebody else. But you the charge nurse. Know that it's that negative in our profession. Is it supposed to be? No. Even in 2025. It's just like, then also, if you're born in one state and you go to another state, I heard somebody say once, she's doing that because she's not a Texan. What does what place I was born have to do with why I'm advocating for the patient? Oh, she's doing that because she's a Yankee. 2025. Oh, she's doing that because I'm doing it because I want to be a prudent nurse. I'm doing it because I want to take care of my patient to the best of my ability. Know that you'll say something to somebody. Patient's head of bed should be at 30 degrees at all times. Your words will drop to the ground. So you might as well just, again, you can say it, but you're going to end up going and raising that head of bed yourself and locking it. And again, if you escalate it, again, it can be retaliation. So I don't want me to tell you about this and you see me and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah, Brown, it is going to be great. The best satisfaction is when that patient improves, get better, and go home. And is educated. They should know what you know before they leave about their disease process, about side effects, medication, therapeutic effects. And the other thing, I learned this from, I had this great director. I was working as a traveler. I was in Florida. And she would come up and she would ask me, what do you know about your patient? It's building rapport. Something that's lost right now, but it's building rapport. Know your patient has children, if the patient has a dog or a cat, if your patient likes ice water, if your patient doesn't want any ice in the water. Know the who, the when, the what, the where, and the why. And always educate your patients. Always educate. Some type of education. Reinforce education what it should be. And remember, the discharge of a patient, the discharge started the second they were admitted. It doesn't start when the doctor put the discharge order in. Because that whole plan of care is to get them in and out. And then the last thing I want to tell you is be conscious, aware of saving costs. Because hospitals need to stay in business. And even though you're caring for a patient, if you're conscious of, don't just blood pressure cuff, throw it away, and it's still usable, reusable. Gloves come out by you pull too many gloves out, don't throw them in the trash. Put the gloves back in there. But just try to find ways that you can be cost effective. If you're in a room and you're in isolation and you need something from the clean utility room or supply room, do not take off all your equipment and go out there. Try to call and get somebody to come hand it to you. Because again, there's been times where we ran out of PPE, protective equipment. So personal protective equipment. So just be mind conscious and aware that if you go in the patient's room, he was like, can I get some ice water? Put the call light on, say, can you bring ice water to the door for me? Because you're going to save the hospital money. You're going to save the unit money. All right. Love you. Okay, Brianna. I thought I was done, but I thought about something else. When you're going in and out of isolation rooms, I hope you watch these, because it took me a long time to get this together, honey. When you go in and out of a patient's room and they're in isolation, if you go into a patient's room and they have something airborne, COVID, TB, influenza, if they have something that's droplet or contact isolation, if you take cups and straws on the top of your cart into that patient's room, when you come out that patient's room, everything on your cart is contaminated. It's going to save time. You can run in and run out. But once there's an outbreak on the unit and a government agency comes in and say, how did this happen? Typically, a lot of places that are stellar hospitals, they will have, like say a cow or a wow doesn't have, it has to stay plugged in. They'll say, take this, we put a work order on it, maybe get fixed, maybe it won't, sometimes it charges, but take that and plug it up in the patient's room. So all you have to do is put it in a baggie, and if you put something in a baggie, it can't have a biohazardous, don't do what everybody else do. If you put something in a baggie, let it be a clear baggie. It can't have a biohazardous check mark on it. That means what's in there has a bloodborne pathogen and is not safe to give. Know that. So they got clear baggies, they got paper bags. Put it in some container and take all their supplies in their room that you're going to need. If you got to carry them with all your PPE on. Because if somebody got C. diff or anything contagious and you go in that patient's room, you can wash your hand, do hand hygiene before you leave, and when you come out, your cart is contaminated. If you have to take your cart into an isolation patient's room, it should be a cart with minimal things on top. And when you come out of that room, be mind conscious. Be aware that you should wipe that cart down with whatever wipes, purple wipes, orange top, whatever, blue top. Be aware of disinfecting decontaminating. Be aware of cleaning that cart down to the best of your ability when you come out the room. It don't do any good if you just gonna clean your cart and your desk when you arrive to work. Because technically, once you go over there and you assess the patient and you got your gloves on and then you moving your cart around, your cart is contaminated. So that's just the truth. So sometimes what I do is sometimes the carts will have the wipes on the back. I try to get the wipe that kills the most stuff. And when I come out of the patient's room, I want to wipe my keyboard down, the top, everything. But you'll understand this more when you get in it. All right, Breezy. I got a little bit of time here. I've been on this computer since 6 a.m. Love you, babe. And I've been up since 1. Okay, so Brianna, I want to tell you about subtle hints. Sometimes when you go to a unit and they don't want to work with you because of the place you were born, they don't want to work with you because of your knowledge base, they don't want to work with you because of the color of your skin, they're going to give you subtle hints. Bias. They're going to give you subtle hints. You should transfer to this department. You should go work at that hospital. All the black people work at this hospital. Just know that that's going to happen. I don't want you to just why should you have to go anyplace else to work? But the biases are out there. The discrimination is out there. But be the best you. Be unapologetic in who you are and who God created you to be. And if you want to go get your doctorate, your master's, your bachelor's, whatever you want to do, well, you're going to finish with your bachelor's anyway. Go do it. And if I were you, young as you are, doing such a great job, by the time you're 21 or by the time you're 25, you can have your own practice. Some kind of clinic and be a nurse practitioner. Love you, baby.